In the scriptural justice system, the highest of the high, the Most High, Yah, is the judge and jury, and the seed of Israel are his children. These are their stories. The Inquisitions were a religious war for control, not just heresy. From the 12th century onward, the Roman Church used a system of tribunals called inquisitions, plural. There were several. The official reason was to root out heresy, but in practice it became a vast religio-political weapon to erase whole peoples, identities and texts that didn't fit the papal model. The main targets across eras: 1. The Albigensians and Waldensians, France and Italy, early Bible followers outside Roman control. 2. The children of Israel in Iberia, Spain and Portugal, falsely labelled as Judaizers after forced conversions. 3. Muslims of Al-Andalus, Moors, Afro-Asiatic and Arab populations of Iberia. 4. Afro-Asiatic converts in North and West lands, many with Hebraic traditions and Sabbath observance. 5. Anyone rejecting papal supremacy or Trinitarian definitions. Why the continent became saturated with Catholicism. When the Inquisitions expanded into the Age of Discovery, 1400s to 1600s, the Church literally carried the cross behind the sword. 1. Papal bulls authorized conquest. 1452 to 1493, bulls like Dum Diversas, Romanus Pontifex and Inter Cetera gave Portugal and Spain authority to subdue all Saracens and pagans. These bulls sanctified enslavement and land seizure for the faith. The earliest expeditions along western lands were not just trade, they were religious crusades. 2. The Iberian Inquisition, western lands. When Spain and Portugal expelled the New Christians, converted Yehudites, after 1492 to 1497, many fled south across the Mediterranean and into Western territories. Rome then followed them with priests and crusaders to either reconvert or destroy any remnants of the culture of the people of the book. That's why entire coasts, Congo, Angola, Guinea, Benin, were given papal names and dioceses before colonization began. 3. Missionary orders equals enforcers. Jesuits, Dominicans, Franciscans, and later Augustinians established missions across these regions to replace ancient Hebraic observances with Latin rites, baptize by force, translate tribal names into Christian ones, teach obedience to Rome and to European kings. Open quote, convert or die wasn't just a saying, it was policy, close quote, connection to the children of Israel. Many tribes, particularly Igbo, Lemba, Yoruba, Akan, and the Yehudites of Ethiopia, carried ancient Hebraic patterns, circumcision, clean diet laws, Sabbath rest, covenant rituals, Levitical naming. European explorers documented these practices, and church authorities flagged them as Judaizing. So yes, the Inquisition's reach into these lands was specifically intended to neutralize what Rome saw as Judaizing, those who kept the commands of the Most High or rejected cross imagery and saint worship. That's why Ethiopia, which kept ancient Hebraic texts, was isolated. Western territories, known as the coast of Judah, were flooded with priests. Millions were enslaved under forced conversion and shipped to Christian colonies. The result, centuries later, the continent became one of the most Catholic and Protestant regions on earth, but through coercion, not choice. Historical receipts. Papal Bull Dum Diversas 1452 authorizes Portugal to enslave nations for perpetual servitude. Treaty of Tordesillas 1494 divides the Western world between Catholic powers Spain and Portugal. Records of Jesuit missions in Congo, 1560s, document systematic destruction of local Hebraic observances. Portuguese archives, Arquivo Histórico Ultramarino, detail baptismal campaigns and conversion quotas. Summary. The Catholic Church didn't just spread religion, it enforced empire. The spread of Catholicism across these lands is a direct legacy of that Inquisition to colonial pipeline. It began with an attempt to erase the true covenant people who preserved the Hebraic faith of the Most High. The result, a continent full of churches built over the ruins of older altars. Welcome to Yah and Order.
I'm just flying high on my horse. I live by peace while you incite wars. I just mind my business, I just mind my business. While you just in your feelings, you just in your feelings.